Hello. Yes, we welcome you back to PSSB, Physical Sciences. Silver Bullet, and it's me, Richard, here. Okay, tonight we are looking at this question. It says define each of the following terms and give one example of each. The first one is hydrocarbons. Yes. What are hydrocarbons? Actually, hydrocarbons are compounds which consist of hydrogen and carbon only. They are organic compounds which consist of hydrogen and carbon only. So that is that. And the examples of hydrocarbons, we have the alkanes, okay, the alkenes and alkynes. These are hydrocarbons. Their molecule consists of only two types of elements, hydrogen and carbon. Yeah. Next one is homologous series. What are they? Okay, homologous series are series of compounds having the same general formula and the same functional group, but differ from the next by CH2 group. When we say series, it means that one following the other. So in other words, the difference from one member to the next member of the next hierarchy is CH2. So that is that. So an example we can give, e.g., alkanes. Alkanes are in homologous series called alkanes. And when you look at alkanes, the best example you can give, let us look at ethane. Our ethane is, I'm going to use condensed structure to bring it out. It's CH2, CH3, and CH3. Okay. Then the next member to ethane is propane. And propane has 3 carbon atoms. So it's going to be CH3, CH2, CH3. So that is how members of one homologous series behave. They differ from the next member by a CH2 group or methylene group. Yeah. Next is saturated compounds. What are they? Okay. Saturated compounds are compounds which do not have any multiple bond between carbon atoms. So that is that. They do not have any multiple bond between carbon atoms. An example we can give, let us look at our propane. Propane belongs to homologous series alkanes, and the propane has structure formula C, C, C. Yeah, that's what we're having. But I want us to look at here. This is a single bond, and this is a single bond. So what we call multiple bonds are double bonds and triple bonds. And we don't have any multiple bond between those carbon atoms. So what can we say? Propane is a saturated compound. Yeah, then comes the next one. Unsaturated compounds. What are they? These are compounds which have one or more multiple bonds between carbon atoms. Or we can say compounds which have at least one multiple bond between carbon atoms. So that is that. They have at least one multiple bond between carbon atoms. Example we can give here. Let us give an example of ethene. Ethene belongs to homologous series alkenes. And if you look at its structure formula, it's going to be C, double bond is C, with two hydrogen attached there and two hydrogen attached here. Now, when you analyze this one, we're having a double bond, which is a multiple bond between carbon atoms. And what can we conclude? The conclusion is that ethene is unsaturated. Yeah, then comes another definition wanted, which is functional group. What is a functional group? A functional group is a bond, an atom, or group of atoms that determine the chemical and the physical properties of an organic compound. So that is that. A bond or an atom or group of atoms that determine the chemical and physical properties of an organic compound. An example I can give here, let us look at the bond first. If you look at this atom, this one is called ethine. It belongs to homologous series alkynes. And the functional group is that triple bond you see between the two carbon atoms. So this is an example of a bond which is acting as a functional group. Okay. Let us look at another one. This one, CH3, CH2, Cl. So we are having the Cl as our atom, which is the functional group. So, in other words, this is an example where an atom acts as the functional group. Let us go to another one. We can also look at another one. For instance, this one, CH3 and CH2OH. These are two atoms which are functional group. And that is all. So in other words, it can be a bond, it can be an atom or group of atoms. But what you see here, they determine how this compound behaves, how it reacts, how it looks like, whether it's a liquid. So many properties which are determined by what we have called the functional group. Yes. Then we come to structural isomers. What are they? Okay, these are compounds which have the same molecular formula but different structure formula. Okay. So that is that. The example you can give here is this one. Suppose you have C4 and H10. What you see here is a molecular formula which can represent, which is first of all, it belongs to homologous series alkane, and it can be butane or something else. Let us see what we can get from here. What we have, this molecular formula can become C, 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 with all those branches there. I want us to assume that all of them are hydrogen, which we'll call butane. At high level, they call it N-butane, normal butane. Okay, then we can also have another possible structure. Suppose you have C and the C and the C, but you have a branch here. So you see, what is this one? This one is called methyl propane. You can put two, but I want to tell you that if there are no alternative positions, there is no need to indicate the number. So this is methylpropane. The other one is butane, and they're having the same molecular formula. And with that, would like to thank you for your time. The channel is PSSB, Physical Sciences, Silver Bullet. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Yes, stick with us. We are simply the best.